Major moves. We going all in. Like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I am Mr. Man, and I'm sitting in front of my microphone this time for the second take, so you can hear me better now. I'm going to start today's session off talking about my favorite guy here, not Epstein. This is about Jamie Dimon distancing himself now from this case. Barclays says Epstein allegations against ex-boss Jess Staley are serious and new. Bank further distances itself from its former chief executive who resigned in November of 2 years ago now. Barclays has said allegation that its former chief executive, Jess Staley, was aware of sex trafficking operations run by the late billionaire Jeffrey Epstein were serious and new, as it further distances itself from its ex-boss, obviously, right? If you don't want to be in the limelight, you create distance for yourself from something. But, yeah. It's the most substantial comment made from Barclays since Staley resigned in November after a UK regulatory investigation into his relationship with convicted sex offender who was one of Staley's clients when he worked at JP Morgan years earlier. The comment also signaled Barclays was further distancing itself from its former chief exec, having previously expressed disappointment at his departure. Why is Barclays getting involved now? I wonder how they fit into this. The board has noted that recent allegations made in the context of proceedings involving Mr. Staley's former employer and against Mr. Staley himself in relation to events a few years prior to him joining Barclays. These allegations were serious and new, Barclays said in a statement released by shareholders ahead of the AGM. I'm not sure what that is, on May 3rd. So let's take a look at JP, how it's doing today. This guy is not doing so well, man. He hit his peak up here, found himself over leverage, found himself with too much debt, found himself in the limelight he probably shouldn't be in here. And now here they are, shit in the bed. Pardon my language, I shouldn't say that. Bed's such a bad word. Shit is a good word though. But yeah, here they are, shit in the bed, going down. And you can see right here, they found a bottom right here, right there. But that's not a real bottom, though. That's the dead count. That's the dead cat getting thrown out the window. Boom! Hit that balcony. Poof! And then bouncing right back up to go right back down even further. Right? That's almost, where are we at here? Is that around that level? I can't see fully. I can't see because that's there. No, it didn't even... There's going to be some resistance around this level right here, guaranteed. Anyways, XRP has since run a chart here. XRP was on a tear today, just on a tear. Unbelievable, this little coin, man, what it can do. When it moves, man. Look at this, and this is on an uptrend, just a solid uptrend here. This is where it touched some resistance at 52 cents. So, and it's still on an uptrend, not on a downtrend. It's making a newer, higher highs at this point here. In terms of where it's trending at right now. So we'll see what tomorrow leads. Hypothetically, if I was going to buy, this is what I'm doing. Not leading into that I'm going to be doing this by any means. But if I'm an XRP holder, I probably would buy at like 4 o'clock in the morning, central savings time. This is just what I would do for my time zone. Because as I watch the charts, I tend to notice that around 4:30 in the morning. Volume is pretty low for this. If you catch that like 1 to 4, it's fairly low. Not much volume going through XRP. XDC was in a nice move today. XLM was in a decent move. Nothing huge, but I mean, it's passing its previous highs, higher lows. There we go. Surpassing its higher lows. At that point, XDC was moving. You had Songbird moving. Flare was killing this shit. Is this the Flare chart here? Yeah, this is Flare. What are we on here? Let's go to the hourly. Flare was just on a run. Like that thing when I was looking at it earlier at work, this thing was over 20-something%. Like this thing was just eating up the charts. Where are we at here? This one here? No, this one here. That's what I want. Let's see where we're stopping here. So we found some resistance around the 40. Is it the 40? Yeah, the 44 cent range area. That's just beautiful. That's just beautiful. When I saw this thing this morning, I thought about buying it, and I was like, no, let me just hold off. And then it shot up. Shot up. I probably should have bought Flare. If I was a into buying crypto, I would have bought Flare. Is what I would say if I bought Flare, if I buy crypto. But let's get into this. Here has been what has been happening, okay? So in the crypto realm back in June 2020 last year, JPM wants to bring trillions of dollars of tokenized assets to DeFi. So now we have JPM adding some tokenized assets onto his little walled garden, okay? But for now, we have stock tokenization happening for BlackRock as well, ETFs here. We have R3 Corda network set to go into DeFi with XDC digital currency at that point. R3 is partnered with the NASDAQs. NASDAQs will be behind the scenes capitalizing on XDC through R3 as well. Okay, we have Project Genesis here, which is a prototype digital platform for green bond tokenization. This is a project with the BIS. I had touched on this before. Let me just move the spit guard. Not that I'm going to spit on that, but it might reduce popping as well. But this is a project with the BIS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, and Stellar. All of this is being tokenized on Stellar blockchain. And you can access this through an app if you download it called Shareables, SHAREABLES, Shareables. And that is the platform that they're doing this on. All right. So here we have Project Helvetia, which came out in 2020. Helvetia is what I've been following for a while. This utilizes a company called SixDex, and they call themselves SDX, SixDex. All right, and this is tokenizing assets on the central bank money, which is taking place out in Switzerland area. Okay. So now that we have all this going on, G7 came out a couple days ago. I was on a run and I happened to catch wind of this. It says G7 leaders to push for tougher crypto regulations. Whoo, we are almost there, my friends, on the first leg up. At the upcoming G7 meeting in Hiroshima this May, Japan, the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, France, Germany, and the European Union are expected to unite to create a cooperative strategy for tougher global cryptocurrency regulations. The IMF is expected to deliver its recommendations on the regulations, supervision, and oversight of global stablecoins. We talk about this so much on this channel here, global stablecoins, how they work in the background here. Crypto assets, activities, and markets by July and September. All right. I'm looking forward to this. You can bet your ass I'll be reporting on this stuff here. All you guys need to know. Why? Because I need to know. So that means you need to know. And I will make sure you are aware. At the upcoming G7 meeting in Hiroshima this May, Japan, United States, UK, Canada, France, Germany, European Union are expected to unite to create a cooperative strategy for tougher global cryptocurrency regs, according to the Kyoto News Agency reports. Furthermore, the initiative will aim to increase transparency and consumer protection surrounding digital assets while addressing risks that could be posed to the international financial system. If I was into cryptocurrency, I would love to be into cryptocurrency before regulation, before they want to provide this investor protection. Because I don't think you or myself need to be protected from these individuals who need to be, They don't need to be in the position they're at, all right? I'm going to break this down for you here. They're talking about tougher crypto regulations. I'm sure you guys know this, but I'm going to bring this up. FDIC. I hope it shows up here. Is this it here? I'm not using Google. No, that's not it. Let me go to Google and do this live for you guys. Because I'll get what I want. I had done this earlier and I came to what I want. Jay Clayton. Okay. So here we have Jay Clayton, attorney Jay Clayton. He's the one who initiated the suing of Ripple, gave ETH a free pass at this point. He is now, after he sued Ripple, this gentleman here, Gerber Gensler, stepped in. And after Jay Clayton left the SEC, he had gone to the FDIC. Now he's working at the FDIC to work on crypto insurance in the background. And then we have Gerber Gensler here. He's the one currently on the Ripple versus SEC case. And then you have FFSB steering committee. All right. So now that Gerber Gensler is in this court case, acting as judge, if you will, for the Ripple versus SEC case. Ripple versus SEC case. We also have him down here just to keep you guys tight on things. Right here. He's also on the steering committee for the FSB. Who are the FSB? Who are these guys, okay? Who gives them the right to do all this stuff and to, who gives them these guys these powers? The charter of the Financial Stability Board. That's what gives them these powers right here. Somebody gave them their powers. So anyways, having regard to initial mandate given to the FSB forum by the finance ministers and central bank governors of the Group of Seven in 1999. That's where they formed and that's where they got their powers. The broadened mandate given to the heads of state and government of the Group of 20 London Summit in 2009. The Declaration on Strengthening the Financial System in 2009. What else came out in 2009? Some coin. I think it was like coin of bits or a Bitcoin, so to speak. Interesting. The call of the heads of state and government of the Group of 20 to reestablish the Financial Stability Board with a stronger institutional basis and enhanced capacity. Interesting that their mandate became stronger and tougher 2009 during the collapse and when Bitcoin came out. The Declaration on Strengthening the Financial System. I need to read this. The Financial Stability Board Charter of 25 September 2009 and the endorsement of the heads of state and government and the Group of 20 of the institutional strengthening of the FSB through its charter, Pittsburgh Summit. And that's when this came out, the charter. All right, so that's how these individuals can exist. So we've gone through tokenized bonds. We've gone through the G7 talking about strengthening crypto regulations. We've talked about the FSB now, who they are, who's in the background working for them. We've talked about Jay Clayton, who's now with the FDIC. We've now spoken about how the FSB has the powers to do what they do. So that being said, let's jump into this. This is a clip floating around right now in the crypto sphere. This is the president of Kenya. All right, it says Ruto speaks on dollar shortage, promises to protect businesses amid opposition protest.
For the people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks. And secondly, we, through the central bank, we are having conversations to reinstate the interbank exchange market that has since not worked. And I am happy that the players in that sector, including our banks, are coming forward and they are participating, and they are working with the central bank so that we can again take charge of our market and that it is not allowed to be distorted.
So there's definitely a battle going on, right? These guys are trying to claim back their own banking system, trying to claim back their sovereignty. They are de-dollarizing. You have the entire BRICS nation, and I can't say all of them yet, but you have the BRICS nation talking about de-dollarizing. Saudi Arabia had started. Russia had started. The petrodollar doesn't exist anymore. China has their own, their own digital yuan going on there. Yeah, so they are set up I want to take you to my Twitter. All right, I had some fire posts today here, and I want to show you guys these. Let me just go into my page. Oops, not that. I think I'm already in my page. Let's close this. This here is a forecast for what potentially we might be potentially staring down, okay? I'm not saying this is it. Don't hold this as gospel, but definitely take a look at this, internalize it, and come to your own thesis and your own conclusions, okay?
That he is predicting what Mike Wilson from Morgan Stanley predicted, and others who have said there is expected to be I won't say a collapse, but a very sharp pullback, not just a pullback, but a deeper decline in 2023. And he is predicting that for mid-2023. So it's interesting how this correlates to others that I have played. Then he sees a sharp increase in equity and bond prices for the next couple of years going into 2025. So kind of some not so good news for the coming months. And then for a year or a couple of years after that, some very good news for equity and bondholders. But then he predicts, and he goes into why, a global depression with a D. And he explains why that is. He predicts that bond yields will exceed 10%, and that bond prices will collapse and equity prices will collapse at that time. So it's a mixture of some not so good news mixed with some good news. So I think you'll find it interesting. He's in my opinion, very credible. And I got his name from one of our viewers and did research on him and found that this was
Okay, so that being said, my recommendations is what I would do if I was going to protect myself against this. I'd get some inflationary assets, for instance, gold. Gold has been performing really well. There will be a pullback. It's making new highs now. It's making some nice, beautiful highs. I hope this thing, you can hear me perfectly fine. But gold's making some new highs right now. There will be a pullback, so if you're looking to buy gold, catch it on that pullback. Do protect yourself. I'm not a financial advisor. Again, this is what I would do if I was looking to protect myself against what we're going through right now. I would get silver. Silver is more for barterability in terms of exchange itself. It's a lot less right now in terms of pricing, but that has a lot of room to shoot up as it's used. Increase in value. It's used in technology. It's used in barterability. It's used in lights. It's used in houses. It's used in everything. It is used in literally everything, okay? And if you can be one of those people that snatch up the silver from the comics, if you can snatch up the silver from the Canadian Mint, if you can snatch up silver from wherever you happen to live and hear my voice, snatch it up. Be the people that are in the bubble before the bubble exists. That's what I would do. But again, not financial advice, all right? I protect myself with some ammunition. You can see the state of the world already. You have France, I think France was protesting, Argentina's protesting. You have people in the U.S. now with this whole transgender ideology going out and killing people. Whether that's set up or not is a different story. I've seen connections where they could be tied to Antifa. I don't know. I don't look into that. I just follow that stuff and learn about it. But I don't talk about it because I can't speak to it. I can only talk about it. But here we go. Is it this here? No, not this. Not them. That one is interesting. I found this interesting. This is the Secret Service will begin training, and that training includes digital currencies. And that training with digital currencies takes place this fall. But what I wanted to show you was these guys here, okay? What it says here is ironically my view on centralized versus decentralized and how regulation will shepherd the 99% who are uninterested in this space, along with wanting the easiest options when it comes to investing. We truly are We truly are. I'm putting myself into this bucket. If I was to hold cryptocurrencies, I'd be in that bucket as well, right? We truly are the 1% who are bold and daring to take this head on, unemotional. Listen to what these individuals say. This is from a university in Germany.
In part, at least, unaffected by any kind of regulatory encumbrances or encouragements. We don't know what way it's going to go. So there's potential there to, again, outpace other developments.
Maybe I add a private comment here, because what you said is also something I try to reflect upon around Christmas, because I always, very often you see in the media and also in crypto discussions and blog articles that there is the decentralized world and then there is the centralized world, and both are fighting each other, and the user doesn't know where to go, decentralized or centralized. I think it's very much different, because it's complementary and it adds on top of this, because I would say that in the decentral world, you have all the innovation taking place. You have metaverses being developed, smart contracts, layer ones, and so on and so forth. Extremely creative, extremely innovative. Some of this stuff works, some of this stuff doesn't work. But because of the technical stuff, especially because of the self-custody and the wallets, this is only for the very small minority of a society. It's only for those people like us who are dealing with this topic and nothing else day by day. And it's only for those people who are understanding part of the technological stuff or want to deal with this stuff, right? And this is, of course, opposed to the other 98% of the population, which might at some point of time also be interested in Bitcoin, but they don't want to deal with the technicalities and so on and so forth.
Why Bitcoin? Because whenever any of these entities and news articles and governments and banks talk about cryptocurrency, all they ever mention is Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's why people will rush into this. When regulations hit, at that point, you're going to see people who want to speculate now and invest in cryptocurrency because they feel it's safe. They'll walk into a bank, JPM, Chase, TD Bank, CIBC, whatever you have, wherever you live. You'll walk in and you'll go to the banker and ask them and tell them that, you know what, I'm interested in investing in cryptocurrencies. And they'll be like, come on, have a seat, my man. We got just what you need. What's your risk tolerance for cryptocurrencies? I'm fairly new. I'm risk adverse. I'm a bit older. I don't have much risk in terms of where I'm at right now. I'm in my 40s now. So all I want to do is just kind of something that's stable and secure. Okay, well, we have this nice package right here for you. It has several banks in there, which can give you dividends. We have Bitcoin. We have Ethereum. They can be pretty volatile. ETH has some higher gas fees. However, there are some, interesting names that we all know and trust building on Ethereum. Bitcoin is a centralized entity. However, it's Bitcoin. People know it. They love it. Everybody's in Bitcoin. So you're going to jump onto Bitcoin. And that's how they scale Bitcoin up.
So the regulation is primarily addressing these 98%, because they also need.
Okay. Next one. Let's go into it.
They also need secure solutions on how to invest. That's a crypto exchange, that's a bank, and so on and so forth. So in my mind, the decentral world and the centralized world, they are going hand in hand. But the decentral world is only for a geeky section of the society. That's us knowing how to deal with the technology and wanting to know this. And the majority by large of the society cannot deal with the technology this way, but they also do not want to do it, but they are still interested, for example, in investing. So providing legally secure systems and solutions such as Börse Stuttgart, Coinbase, and many others who have a license in Germany, they are required, because only then the majority can potentially also invest in a secure way. And therefore we need regulation. With absence of regulation, what happens? FTX. And therefore we have to have regulation, otherwise it doesn't work. And now, how is this interlinked? The decentral world creates innovation day by day, and then the central world is on a very, very, very low frequency, taking out a couple of those innovations, let's call it Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then does some stuff with it, tries to regulate it, is doing compliant solution, and then scales it up to millions of users. That's basically the story of Börse Stuttgart, for example, and others. But of course, this also explains why Börse Stuttgart is not doing DeFi. Why should they? DeFi is still in the experimental stage. That's basically some considerations I did, because I always found it difficult this struggle between the centralized world and the decentralized world. I don't believe in this struggle. It's more something like an innovation pipeline where innovation is.
Perfect. So that being said, the biggest holder of Bitcoin is the U.S. government. Here's the U.S. government's Bitcoin holding. The U.S. government has seized at least 215,000 Bitcoin since 2020, making it one of the largest Bitcoin whales. On March 9, 2023, 49,000 BTC associated with U.S. government law enforcement seizures were on the move, with 9.86K sent to a Coinbase address, according to the Glassnode. I hope you guys can see this. I don't know if you can or not. I'll move it back and forth for a little bit here. But this is from an article here that was sent to me from one of my boys. That's Khalid. All right. So that being said, we know where Bitcoin's headed. We assume we know where Bitcoin's headed. We can see the trajectory. We can see XRP, XLM, XDC on the move right now. They're looking to bust through their resistance. If I was a well-educated person in cryptocurrency, I'd be picking up some utility coins, preferably in the morning when there's low volume, less movement going through these things here on our side of the world. Yeah, that's what I would say. Don't forget about the tokenizations happening on XLM. A lot of movement happening on retail side right now, okay? Keep yourself open. Keep learning. Until the next time, I'll see you guys then.
Making major moves. We going all in. Like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.